Hello, America, and to our friends around the world, welcome to the Common Sense Show. We are the show that is freeing America one enslaved mind at a time. Thank you so much for joining us. Really good to be with you. Hey, if you haven't joined our newsletter, you should. It's free. That might be the best thing, but it contains all our content in the previous 24 hours, which is multidimensional, and it saves you a lot of trips coming back and forth. People love it. Over 50,000 people are subscribed. You should too. Go to thecommonsenseshow.com. Click on the newsletter link in the upper right-hand corner. Put in your email. No, we don't sell data, I promise. And you'll get your delivery every day after that, and you'll say, "Oh, this is convenient." And when people move and they change emails and all that good stuff, you wouldn't believe how upset they get because they're not getting the newsletter. People come to depend on it. You will too. You'll love it. Hey, we are brought to you by the Nanosoma products, and I overcame a lot last year. I'm lucky. I've been blessed, with being able to maintain some level of youthful vigor. Even though I had to stop playing basketball about 25 years ago because of bone on bone knee, well, now I can play a little bit, and let me show you the main reason why. Pluripotent stem cells from this cream. You rub this gel on your joint that's affected. Now, for me, it took 2 to 3 months, and the symptoms lessened in severity and swelling over time. And I was trying to build myself up back in the gym when I was given the diagnosis of RSV with strip lung linings. You waited too long. At your age, they won't grow back. And this was the official prognosis. Well, sorry, guys, I'm better than I've ever been. And that's because of this nanosoma spray. This does not cure a thing. In all honesty, if you expect to take it, oh, it's going to cure me. No, it's going to build up your immune system. When I had the RSV, I couldn't walk up a flight of stairs. I mean, it was that severe. And I had gone from where I was doing sprints about 3 times a week and some others. I just couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't walk hardly. And after 2 weeks of doing this, multi doses, mega doses of these sprays, I was fine. I can't believe how I came through it. And it doesn't just apply to what I had, it applies to anywhere where your immune system can help you, which is just about everything. And then there's the third part of the three pack here, and it's this. And you remember when I had the bandage in my finger, and a lot of you wrote to me and say, "Dave, what's wrong?" Well, I tried to cut my finger off doing some kitchen stuff, and I probably needed 4 to 6 stitches. I go, I'm not going to the emergency room tonight and sit there for 6 hours. Not going to do it. So I said, I'll just put on this cream, wrap it up, clean it the next day, do the same thing. 2 weeks later, completely gone, completely healed. These are amazing, amazing products. And basically, they're Eastern oriented, but they're gaining in popularity. I mean, I literally have had people come up to me when I've been at conferences and they're in tears and saying, "Thank you for telling me about your journey with this. I did it for this situation and it changed my life." I hear these stories a lot. You can be part of the success of this product, these products. The three pack is 15% off. You'll get three of the sprays, one of the gel, one of the cream. 15% off. It's really a good deal. I recommend you get it. Go to iwantmyhealthback.com/Dave Hodges. iwantmyhealthback.com/Dave Hodges. Well, I'm growing more and more concerned. And as you know, I've been since March talking a lot about earth changes. And it can't all be affiliated with what man is doing to contribute. We're looking at geological patterns around the planet and interconnectedness with the ring of fire, volcanoes, tectonic plate movements, and so forth. And we're seeing a rise in this. We know Africa's splitting off. I mean, National Geographic just did a huge thing on this. You remember, we covered that 3 months ago. And we actually showed you the photos and how you're going to have a sixth ocean that's going to separate the part of Africa and the southern tip that's breaking off to the ocean that's going to come in. And it's happening pretty rapidly right now. I don't have an estimate, but we also know geological change can happen over millions of years. It can happen overnight. Remember woolly mammoths, undigested vegetation found in Siberia in 1988 by Russian investigators? Yeah, it can happen overnight because the Earth has two different systems. I don't want to go into all the mechanics of it. One is slow burn change, the other is like being on ice skates. And it just depends which change is predominant. But let's get into the news of the day with regard to Earth changes. Mount St. Helens. Oh, you remember that? Yeah, I remember Mount St. Helens. I was living in Aurora, Colorado. That's where I grew up. And I come out of my place and I had all this ash on my car. It was like I had to sweep it off like I did the snow. And it was amazing. And my eyes burned. And I was Aurora, Mount St. Helens. There's quite a distance there. But my eyes burned, my lungs, I'm working out and I'm going, oh my gosh, the lungs are burning. And those people with respiratory issues had major problems. But in the short, I remember there were a lot of fatalities, communities disappeared. You had an entire forest just flattened, and sulfur dioxide is the thing that really kills. You don't want to be in the vicinity, and I'm saying depends how big the eruption is, but 20 to 70 miles, sulfur dioxide can kill you. We know it with Mount Vesuvius, the people that died at Pompeii, they died in frozen positions, and it was the lung failure from the particulates that killed them. And Mount St. Helens is rumbling again, and it's blowing steam, and the magma seems to be shallow. It's closer to the surface now, which is a bad sign. I pray for the researchers because the USGS has people right up there every day on the base of the mountain measuring things. How dangerous can that be? Because these things can happen when you're not expecting it, just out of nowhere. Boom, there goes, and there's your eruption. And I worry about the people that are doing that work for the USGS. Now, this isn't an isolated situation. We're finding there's interconnectedness. We've heard about the Ring of Fire, and I'm sure you've seen that if you've looked at this at all. And Mount St. Helens is connected to the Fuqua subduction zone off the coast of Washington and Oregon. And we know one plate is moving under the other, and it's a matter of time until that whole region goes poof. Now, will the destruction be 100% total and complete? It's not thought to be that way, but will there be massive destruction? Yes. Portland and Seattle could be in some jeopardy here if that happens. But Mount St. Helens could put the health of people in Portland and Seattle and other areas throughout the region, the whole region. People who are elderly, people who have compromised lung function, this is really serious, but it's part of an overall connected system. And you have to wonder if this is not a symptom of something that's much, much bigger coming. And I've never heard anyone connect Mount St. Helens and the Cascadia subduction zone to what's happening in Yellowstone. But you got strange animal behaviors going on in Yellowstone right now. Buffalo running down the highway away from the park. And this is not an uncommon occurrence. Some of the mating habits of the local creatures, like the deer and the bears and stuff, it's almost gone to zero in some areas. And the park rangers are saying we're seeing really aberrant behavior from the animals, and they think it's related to what's going on at Yellowstone, and that would be a massive eruption. Now, is that connected to the Cascadian subduction zone? I've never seen anything to indicate that, but it just makes me wonder because you have some activity there as well. The Earth seems to be going through changes. I mean, we know that Chile is sinking. Parts of South America are actually sinking. And if it keeps going in the trend they are, a lot of South America is going to be underwater. Uh-huh. Does this kind of light up the light here for you in your brain? Yamaguni off the coast of Okinawa, a sunken city. Off the coast of Cuba, 2 miles deep, a sunken city. We've seen these remnants, and a lot of the stuff that we're finding on the ocean floor are amazing. And we may be entering a time that we've had before on the planet of extreme earth changes. And here's the bad news. We ain't a type 1 civilization, according to Michio Kaku and the way he lays that out. We're at the end of type 0. We can't control earth processes. We can see clouds and move the jet stream and so forth, and we can do some influencing, but we sure can't control geological processes. We're pretty helpless here and harmless. I'm thankful that we have groups like the USGS, and they're monitoring this with satellite and LIDAR and sonar and so forth. And they hopefully can give enough warning to save lives. But I will tell you this, they know something's coming because one report that I've read, we're talking about hospitals in Portland and Seattle. They're stockpiling emergency supplies now. The Mount St. Helens situation has them concerned, and I think really it's the overall Cascadia subduction zone. But it's going to happen, people. It's just a matter of time, and the Earth goes through changes, and some of them are cataclysmic. You know, a lot of people really believe in the Atlantis situation and Lemuria and all these past civilizations, folklore. And if you look at the legends of the Hopi and the Navajo and people in India and China and so they all tell similar stories, and you have the floods universal to every cultural folklore that we have. So it looks like this is something that's going to be repetitive. Let's just hope that you're not near something catastrophic and that we get plenty of warning. If Yellowstone goes, oh boy, we've covered that before. That could be devastating. And the United States would never be the same. And one other thing I want to mention too, there was a danger, and we didn't lose any planes, but when Mount St. Helens exploded in 1980, many commercial airliners reported temporary engine failure due to the ingestion of the materials, the particulates. Pretty serious stuff. Air travel would stop for a while. You also would see pollution just devastating the region because what goes up must come down. It would overwhelm water treatment, could overwhelm the grid. So there's a lot of spin-off effects that can take place. The old saying, you can't fool Mother Nature, seems like it's true. So stay tuned. And if you get an order to evacuate, I wouldn't think twice. Grab your pets, your favorite picture. Hopefully your records are in somewhere you can retrieve them quickly and then get the heck out of Dodge. I'm Dave Hodges. This is The Common Sense Show. We'll see you back here again next time.